Thanks for joining us for today's Bonus Monday. We're so glad to be able to have you with us. And I want to focus in on Romans 8 today. From this last week's message, we talked about the 3 seats. Right, we talked about the seat of pride, the seat of fear, and the seat of shame. And I brought you into Romans 8 in the message. And I want to go to this particular verse right here. And it says in verse 9, "You, however, are not in the realm of the flesh, but are in the realm of the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God lives in you." And then jumping down a little bit more, it says this, "For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you received does not make you slaves so that you live in fear again. Rather, the Spirit you received brought you about to adoption, to sonship." I talked about this whole element about not living in fear and not living to a slave to fear. But rather, I think there's this element of if we can make ourselves a slave towards Christ, ultimately, we know that it's going to lead to some amazing things. In that verse in 2 Timothy 1:7, it says that he doesn't give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I want to encourage you, as we've looked at this whole series of Unmerited, there's this whole sense of that we get to transform our mind. In Romans 12:2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and then you will know his good, pleasing, and perfect will." And I think for me in my own life, I had to really realize I needed to transform my thinking. Stinking thinking gets us nowhere. Stinking thinking gets me to a life that is undisciplined, lazy, apathetic, and trapped in my comfort zone. Have you ever been there? I have, where it's just like I was on such a great path, and all of a sudden the scale kept on creeping up, or my room kept on getting messier. Whatever it was, where it's like I felt like I deserved these extra treats, these extra things in my life. And I was like, no. Trent, this isn't about health. This isn't about your physical thing. It's a matter of discipline. For me, it was a matter of like, you know what, Trent, your time frame, you can be more disciplined with your time to be able to use it in greater ways for me. And have you made time for me? Because the spirit I've given you is one of discipline, of self-discipline, of power and a sound mind. And if you feel like you're chaotic and you're all over the place, Trent, that's not me. That's you. You bought into the chaos. What I need you to do is transform your thinking and your perspective of how you're going to go about your day and prioritize me over all of these other things that don't matter quite as much. And so I needed to pray and ask God for forgiveness. Number one, that whole element of repentance is that, I have made it about me and what I needed to do and what I wanted to do with my life. And I put him at the back burner. And I had to realize it was a matter of, okay, I need to prioritize him and start my day in his word. I needed to start my day in prayer. And as I did that and I prioritized him with my thinking and my start of the day, with my actions throughout the day, it brought about this element of self-discipline, of guidance, and realizing that he's empowering me throughout the day, that I'm not alone. It's amazing what happens if we transform our mind out of stinking thinking. Then we can get that power, love, and self-discipline. I encourage you, don't go throughout this year with stinking thinking. Get transformed by the renewing of your mind. Become a slave to God rather than a slave to fear and a slave that you need to control everything in your own life. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.